Hello everyone, welcome back. This is my new tutorial, Redstone Basics. In this tutorial I'll be teaching you all the basics and advanced uses of redstone and anything that deals with redstone. I've just made a quick spawn here in creative and I've already got the start for everything that we will need for this episode. Okay. The first step is how to get redstone. How do you get redstone? Well, redstone is found in caves at lower levels. You're going to need an iron pickaxe, which can be crafted with 3 iron ingots and 2 sticks like that. You have to have an iron pickaxe or a diamond pickaxe. Gold, stone, and wood will not harvest redstone, they'll just break it and it will take a while. What you'll end up getting is this redstone dust, which we can start using for circuitry and such. So you'll probably find yourself in a cave like this. When you find the redstone, you simply mine it. It'll give you a good amount of redstone per block. 4 blocks there, I got 18. As you can see, I got about 4 redstone per block. Now, with redstone we can make a variety of things, such as redstone torches, tripwire hooks, pistons, power rail, detector rails, just all the basic stuff. We will not be getting into how you make that today. All I'm going to show you today is the basics on how redstone works. Now, this is basic redstone you can place on just about any block or on the ground. As you can see, switches, it lights up the redstone, it turns a brighter color, that indicates the power. As you flip the lever, you can see I can turn the power on or off. Levers can keep the power on the entire time they are flipped on. A button will send a quick signal of power through the redstone. It will turn off after about a second. Tripwires, as you can see, will also power redstone. When you step over the tripwire here, the hooks power the block, which then any redstone around it will get powered. Stone pressure plates, wooden pressure plates also power. They go off just like tripwires a second after you press them, sort of like a button. Redstone torches will also provide power to redstone, but they will constantly stay on. They're kind of like their own power source. Here I've just set up a demonstration showing you how long redstone power lasts. If we get up here, this gold block represents as far as redstone can power a block. The block is past this block, which is at 16 meters, 15, 16, it will not be powered. A repeater basically takes that redstone power and makes it new. See how dull it is here? It's about ready to die out and not be able to power anything. The repeater lengthens it again for another 16 blocks and repowers it, makes it brighter. You can see how strong the signal is by how bright it is. The strength of the signal does not matter in powering things. All it does is show you that, like, how far you can actually power stuff. Okay, so here we're gonna show you another thing with repeaters. Basically, the button's gonna power this block, the redstone is right behind this block, it'll get powered. One direction it's gonna go to here and power this piston, another direction it's gonna hit this repeater before going onto the piston. The repeater is set to a tick of 4. Everything in Minecraft basically runs on ticks. If you hit F3, you'll probably see that purple says tick. The whole game runs on a system of ticks. It's not really necessary. What you need to know is redstone runs on ticks, mainly with repeaters. This would be 1 tick, 2 tick, 3 tick, 4 tick. Set to 4 tick, and we'll see what happens. As you can see, the repeater side piston activates after the regular just redstone. This is because it actually has to wait 4 ticks before the signal continues. When redstone wiring just naturally hits a block, it'll power objects on any side of the block. It will not do corners, but it will power any blocks on top and to the sides, shown by the redstone lamps. If it just naturally hits a block, it will not transfer the signal to the other side of the block and to power anything. However, repeaters will do this. This has been updated in older versions of Minecraft. You could power blocks by just sending a redstone line directly to a block. This has been changed, however, in newer versions, I believe after the 1.8 Adventure update, to where it will not power the block, it will just power things connected to the block, not including redstone. I'm not sure exactly why that is. It can be very confusing at times, but just know if you want to continue the signal through a block, you need to have a repeater going to the block first. Also, the signal can power redstone on top of blocks. If the redstone was in just a dot, it'll power stuff on the sides of it. However, if you replace this with just a redstone line, it will not power, it will just go up a step. This way it's powering the block, and since there's just a dot on the top of the block will actually power that dot, which powers the lamps. So far we've basically just gone to how redstone powers everything, and sort of how the power works and effects and with repeaters versus just normal lines. So things can power repeaters, switches, and if a button was on a block here, it would power the repeater, or a redstone torch, it would still power the repeater and go on to power other things. Represented by the torches here, if a line goes to a block, it will turn off torches. The redstone torches are naturally in the on state. When they're in this state, they will power the redstone around it. This includes below, in front, and to the sides. When power is given to a block that has redstone torches on it, the power reverses redstone torches, turning them off. Now, in Minecraft there are a lot of different gates, which are basically just combinations of redstone that can help you do different things. The first and probably the most important one we're going to learn about is the NOR gate. I'm pretty sure it's called the NOR gate. I might be wrong. Basically, it's just a redstone torch on a block. It simply reverses the normal output from being off to on. So let's say if I had a button here, you can see this, like if I wanted a piston to naturally be like open, maybe locking a hidden door or whatever, and I hit the button, it would turn the redstone torch off, which could depower the pistons, revealing the hidden passage. So that gate is very useful. We'll get into more on gates in a later episode. Repeaters will also do the same thing. And again, if you set the delay, it will just delay how long until the signal actually affects and moves on from that repeater. Again, redstone torches, they'll power blocks up and beside it like that. They can even power blocks, which if they have things like a redstone dot on top of them will, again, like I showed you earlier, power these repeaters. So what's going on here, the redstone line goes to a repeater which powers a block, which reverses the state of this redstone torch from on to off, which, because it's off, stops powering this block, which stops the transfer of the power to this redstone dot, which stops the transfer to the redstone lamps. Seems very complicated in a lot of steps. Actually, it's not that complicated, and you do start learning this more as you start messing with redstone. Here I'm just demonstrating how power goes down from a redstone torch. Redstone torches power blocks, again, on top of them, below them, and to the sides of them. Now here, what I have set up is I'm using repeaters to create a repeater. What this does is the button inputs a signal, and as it takes time to go from repeater to repeater, because each one's on a 4 tick, it actually has time to just move around in a circle. As you can see, it just keeps on moving around and around and around. If you were to build something like this, let's say you try to make a really small one like this. As you can see, it starts to, but the power immediately gets stuck. It gets jammed up in the repeater. Now the power is going through here and going through here. It's all powered. It needs more of a delay between these, like this one has, so it doesn't catch up to itself and basically freezes the whole circuit. So now that we've seen all this, I'm going to just demonstrate everything we've learned so far. As you can see, this button's going to power this redstone to 16 meters, which will hit the repeater, repowering it, which will start a loop circuit here, which will power these redstone lamps as it passes by. In turn, it will also go to this repeater, powering this block. As you can see, there's no redstone torch under here. This is because this redstone dot will power anything to the side of it. If you remember with the redstone lamps over there, it will in turn power this block, turning off these redstone torches, which will turn off this dot because it'll lose power with that redstone torch being off, making those lamps go off. Same thing over here, the redstone torch will depower this lamp. The signal is also going down below the torch to here, which it hits a delayed repeater and turns off that redstone lamp. Now, one key thing you probably, if you've been paying attention or know a little bit about redstone already, you realize that this loop circuit here actually connects back up to this redstone line. Now, unlike repeaters, which need the input to be going a certain way in order to work, as you can see, the power goes into the repeater, and on the reverse side it will not go through. If it goes through the correct side, it will work. repeaters must work in this fashion. This is why this loop circuit is able to work. But basically, it's going to start repeating, and once it gets back around to here, it's going to send some of back here, run back this way and this way. Since it's hitting this at the wrong side, it will not continue on. But it hits this at the right side, so it will start turning these off and on. So here's this basic circuit. As you can see, this lamp's being affected by the repeater delay, and these are being affected by the redstone torch. And that circuit continues. So that's basically it for this first video. Well, no, actually not. I'm just gonna stop this circuit, which can simply do by deleting a corner of the redstone, waiting for the signal to end. This will reduce lag later on. I guess I can show you what I have over here. Now this is just a setup of almost every block in Minecraft. Not every single one, but a majority of them. All I'm showing here is basically, in this first section, is if, as you can see, the lever is simply powering the repeater, which powers the block, sends signal through. All I'm seeing here is if that signal will go through the block. Wool, sandstone, sand, gravel, glass, it does not. Will work for ores, ore blocks, bricks, bookshelves. Will not work for glowstone. Clay, snow, does not work for ice. Works for pumpkins, bedrock, obsidian, netherrack, soul sand. I was a little surprised by this actually. I did not expect that with soul sand. Melons, of course. Endstone, stone brick, does not work. Half slabs, stairs, upside down slabs. Sponges works with. Now this is actually a monster silverfish block. It's not a regular stone brick. Works with lamps. Even works with notes. Surprised by that too. Crafting table, also surprised, does not work with leaves. That's because leaves are not a solid block. You notice I wood down there, that's just to make sure leaves don't decay. I'm not sure if that still is in the game or not, but now this shows you what blocks can be pushed and retracted by a piston. Destroys the leaves, doesn't work. That. Sponges. This is a cool one. For people who are looking for maybe a cool design with piston doors, it does work with stairs, upside down, or regular end slabs. Breaks a melon. You've seen those auto melon harvesters, that's basically what they're doing there. Cannot push obsidian or bedrock. You notice there's no block on here, but it's supposed to be a melon block. That's because not the melon block, the pumpkin block. That's because the pumpkin block cannot even be placed on top of a piston. That was a weird little fact I found out. Though melons can, so I'm not really sure why pumpkins and melons are so different. I'm going to assume, based on the melons, that the pumpkins would break if pushed by a piston. See how those work as well. Now, what I've done here is I've placed redstone on top of every block just to show you which blocks can have redstone placed on them. This includes redstone torches, repeaters, pressure plates, buttons, levers, all that. Glass can be pushed by a piston. Other than that, it can't really do anything with redstone. Can't place on pumpkins. Pumpkins are very weird with redstone. Surprised by this too. Could place on soul sand. With the new 1.3 update, you can also place on upside down stairs and slabs, monster blocks, torches. Now, these you're probably wondering how I got redstone on there, because if you try to place it, you just go to a crafting table or try to change the tone. What you do is you have to place 2 blocks like that, or just have a block like that, and you place it against the block. Since redstone cannot be placed on the sides of blocks, and you're not clicking on the top of the block, it'll actually go to the next available space. Same thing works with torches. If I had a block back here, since there's no other place for the torch to go, it'll go straight forward here. And that's how you get torches and redstone on blocks like that. And you cannot place on leaves. So that's basically it for this video. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. Please give any feedback or suggestions in the comments on anything you want to see. If you've seen something done in somebody's Let's Play video or redstone video or whatever, some redstone contraption they did, and you want to know how it works or are curious to something in it, just post a link to the video and describe whatever it is you want to see or whatever problem or whatever in the video you're wondering about, and I'll look at that, and hopefully I'll be able to get that in a recent video. But please leave a rating, anything you'd like to see, anything you liked or disliked about the video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.